Family, welcome to Hip Hop Master. Hip Hop History. Ice Cube, the evolution of a hip hop legend by Juvenile. When talking and debating about the pioneering greats in the world of hip hop, the name O'Shea Jackson, internationally known as Ice Cube, is a name that brings a lot of weight to the conversation. With a career that has been flourishing over 3 decades now, Ice Cube's long list of groundbreaking accomplishments have helped cement his place in hip-hop's Hall of Fame. The beginning of Ice Cube's legend is rather typical of a lot of hip-hop artists, with him being raised in the poor part of Los Angeles and committing petty crimes during his teenage years. Yet quickly enough, O'Shea Jackson started on another path and passion in the form of hip-hop. It was not long before a young O'Shea formed his own group, CIA. But it was not until he liked up with Eric Easy Wright did the world see the emergence of Ice Cube, one of hip-hop's most influential songwriters. History was about to be made, boundaries about to be pushed to new limits, with the pair forming iconic hip-hop group NWA along with another legends of the industry, Dr. Dre, Mac Rin and DJ Yella. The crew rapidly rose to stardom after the huge success of their first album, Straight Outta Compton, with Ice Cube being author behind the majority of the lyrics. The album was hard-hitting, in-your-face hip-hop covering controversial subject matter in an unapologetic way. Songs like F at #*The Police helped Ice Cube and NWA go from underground hip-hop group to international front-page news. And not only could you hear Cube and NWA blasting in the hood, they were well embraced by the kids in the suburbs, causing their record sales to skyrocket. NWA are widely considered to be one of the fathers of the gangsta rap genre and one of the groups that put West Coast hip-hop on the map. But it was not too long before Ice Cube's career set on a path separate from NWA's after a now well-publicized dispute over money led to Cube leaving the group to start a solo career. The split was far from amicable and left NWA without their chief writer, and when you go back, you can hear a clear difference to the whole sound of the group. Although the group's later projects did sail, trouble within the group spread, and it was not long before they dissolved. Ice Cube's gamble to go solo, like Han, quickly began to reap dividends with the 1990 release of his first album, America's Most Wanted, a record which in my opinion has to go down as one of the all-time great hip-hop albums, whilst placing Cube as one of hip-hop's great songwriters. Just like NWA's first album, Cube's first solo was a huge success, selling millions of copies worldwide. In 1991, Ice Cube released his second album as a solo artist, the highly acclaimed Death Certificate, which like his debut was certified platinum, selling millions globally. And just like Cube's previous work, his second solo album did not fail to stir up a whirlwind of controversy, addressing many racial, political and social issues in a pro-black militant fashion. Featuring No Vaseline, which is widely regarded as one of the all-time great diss tracks, Ice Cube's response to the NWA diss song 100 Miles and Runnin' is the icing on the cake, confirming Death Certificate as a classic hip-hop album. Ice Cube's third album, released The Predator in 1992, saw Cube continue rapping from a very political standpoint in his familiar militant fashion, addressing social and political issues in the wake of that year's LA riots. Commercially, Ice Cube was going from strength to strength, with The Predator topping the US Billboard and R&B charts, making it Cube's highest-selling album to date. Although I would point out my third favorite out of his first 3 album releases. And when you consider the militant themes and subjects Ice Cube articulates, his commercial successes really has to be applauded. No R&B hooks, no club joints, just that pure hardcore West Coast hip-hop with substance and content. With the rise of Dr. Dre's The Chronic, saw a change in style and sound by the release of his fourth album Lethal Injection, where we heard a more laid-back Cube rapping over G-Funk beats. Although Lethal Injection failed to live up to his previous 3 albums in terms of commercial sales, it's a solid album containing classic hip-hop songs from that era. After dropping his fourth solo album, Ice Cube's music career was a bit sidelined, yet over the next 5 years he still managed to release a 2-part album titled War and Peace. In 1996, Ice Cube begins collaborating with Mac 10 and WC, which resulted in the creation of the West Side Connection Group and the release of 2 albums, Bow Down, which was certified platinum within months, and Terrorist Threats, plus the release of his 7th solo album Laugh Now Cry Later, selling 144,000 copies in its first week. Although it is said by many that Cube's later work didn't have the impact of his earlier material, he still produced solid albums littered with bangers that sold millions of copies worldwide. Because of the controversial subjects raised in his lyrics, Ice Cube was often targeted by the media both in his years with NWA and his solo career. He was often accused of being a racist and a misogynist. That perception of him slowly changed as Ice Cube began climbing up the ranks in the movie business, proving that a talented hip-hop artist can be a good actor as well. It would be fair to question, was the toning down and the change from being a very political rap artist a conscious move with a career in the film world in mind? Even though he received recognition for his roles in Boys and the Hood, CB4, and The Trespass, true acclaim came to him after the hit comedy, Friday, in which Ice Cube not only played one of the lead roles, but worked as a writer and the producer as well. To this day, this movie is still a must-watch for all the hip-hop culture lovers. Not only was Friday a huge success, it was also the first time the world was really introduced to Chris Tucker, who instantly shot to fame after his unforgettable performance as Smokey. After it, Ice Cube continued to evolve as an actor and played in films such as Anaconda with Jennifer Lopez and Three Kings with George Clooney. Other noteworthy movies that also proved to be a financial success are the sequel, Next Friday, and The Barbershop. Nowadays, Ice Cube is starring in Hollywood action comedies such as Ride Along, 21 Jump Street, and their sequels, while shinning as a producer as well, thus managing to successfully juggle his careers both in acting, where he highlights his fun, comedic personality, and in the musical industry, where the gangsta rap and political part of his being is revealed. Ice Cube has received much acclaim in the film industry whilst being recognized as one of the greatest and most influential rappers and songwriter of all time. Ice Cube, we salute you. Family, follow my page, comment, share, subscribe my channel. One love, family. Salute.